Hello. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Cool, cool, cool. I will wait for some of you guys to come in here. Cool. Okay. I'll wait for you guys to get the notification. Hopefully you are getting the notification. Hi. Hi, Sister Tracy. Okay, there's some people coming in. I am having a good moment right now, so I feel like let me come here while I'm having a good moment, right? Yeah, I want to share with you guys some source codes that happened to me today, and then we're gonna kind of talk about a few things. I'm not gonna be on here long, but I want to just touch base with you guys, and yeah, and all of that good stuff. So, welcome in, everyone. When you come in, please put a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, everyone. I am. Hi, Natalie. Hi. Hopefully, you guys will get the notification. Let me actually take care of a few things on my end so that you guys can get the notification. Maybe I will do that. Let me just check out a few things here while we are waiting for you guys to come on in. Put a like on the video and please subscribe to the channel, everyone. Thank you very, very much. There's always a lot to talk about, and I want to share a few things with you guys today. I'll just take care of a few things while we are waiting for the notification to go out. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And we will start in a moment. Oh my goodness. Okay, no, I did not see that. So someone in the chat is saying, "Hey, I just wanted to see if you saw a Candace preview about her new series, The Bride of Charlie, aka Chucky. I wonder if she saw any of your stuff. Thanks for all that you do. You're welcome." I mean, that's very specific. I think she had to. Candace, girl, we love you. We've been over here spiritually protecting you over here at Instructions for Humanity. We love you. And yeah, so that's great. If she was inspired, I am, I'm humbled by that. That's beautiful. I will see if I can find that. I mean, at the very least, her producers have been watching, because there's just been too many coincidences, or what we're going to talk about today. We're all synced up, we are all synced up. There's too many coincidences happening. Like, we are all synced up. So I'm going to see if I can find that, though, while you guys come in here. Thank you. Okay, yes, thank you. We're going to watch. Candace, do episode Wicked Erica. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Listen, guys, listen. I wasn't even coming on here to do this today, but I could use a little foolishness in my life right about now. So that would be a great distraction. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find it. If you guys find it, put the link in the chat and we will talk about this. Oh my goodness. Guys, I see it.
So excited for Candace.
This is hilarious, guys. I was going to talk about this, but what is it called again? It's called The Bride of Charlie. Oh my God, this is good. You just can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. Come on in, guys. Come on in, guys. Come on in. This is crazy, guys. This is amazing. I don't know, I'm having a good moment, so. All right, I'm not sure if anyone's getting the notification, but that's okay. Hi, guys. Welcome in. Yeah, hopefully you guys are getting the notifications. When you come in, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, everyone. So, goodness. I was prepared to do a different kind of message, but now you kind of just make me want to dig and see what is happening. Let me see if I can share this really quickly. Hopefully you guys can hear it because I have this mic plugged in. You might not be able to hear it.
Everyone was so excited for.
We will see, because I don't feel like unplugging it. Yeah, I don't feel like doing that. But let's take a look, shall we?
Candace to come back today, but she has something even bigger in store for us, and she will be back Wednesday. Take a look at this promo.
My aunt used to tell me never do something that you don't want on the front page of a newspaper.
Everyone was so excited for Candace to come back today, but she has something even bigger in store for us, and she will be back Wednesday. Take a look at this promo.
My aunt used to tell me never do something that you don't want on the front page of a newspaper.
Okay. You guys, you know what? This is given. I'm done with the entire matrix. Let me show you something. Let me tell you guys something. Listen, this is about to get big real fast. We're gonna examine this, right? But wait for me to tell you. Wait for me to tell you what I'm gonna tell you. Now, I wasn't even gonna say this, but I think it's only fitting that I do. So we're gonna examine this and at face value, we're like, oh my goodness, this is juicy. I cannot wait to watch this. More tea on the YouTube streets. Yes, but you almost have to stop and ask yourself the question: is Candace Owens in on this stuff? And like I always say, guys, you could be in on something and not know that you are. And that is the part I need to explain to you, because I've learned a lot, just with the passing of my father. I have learned a lot about the coding of this matrix. I want to share some very interesting synchronicities. And then this is when you will know, guys, it's given. You know how they say the whole world is a stage? No. I'm taking it one step further, baby. The whole world is a movie script that was pre-selected before you came up in here and is currently being recorded by the all-seeing eye that lives on the eighth dimension, is what it is giving. That's what I'm going to share a few things with you guys. And I was getting ding, ding, ding on my phone. So show you right. So we're going to talk about this because yes, this very similar to, the whole series in psychic investigation that I did about, Erica. And, oh, I love those early days with the automatic drawing. Don't you just miss the automatic drawings? We'll get back to that. There's been a lot of transitional energy happening, right? And, remember the nose yesterday, guys? And I'm like, like my nose is pilling, like the skin on my nose is pilling. And we're going to get to the nose as well because the nose keeps showing up. But let me stick with this, right? I love Candace Owens. I love everything you're doing over there, girl. I would not change a thing. I would just keep going with this. That's from like a creator standpoint. That's from like an entertainment and also to revealing truth. I love when you can reveal truth and do it in an entertaining way, right? And still do it with some sort of like, composure and a little bit of, empathy, I think is great, and grace, right? And I think that she has done all of those things. And I think she's done it beautifully. I truly do. But, the tit for tat, and then there was the scare of her, Erica Kirk, suing her. And then, there's just so much. And listen, guys, we're not new to this. We're true to this. When have you ever seen a person that is supposed to be non-elite being able to hold the elite's feet to the fire without any action being taken? Now, I know we could say, remember David Icke was exposing all of the reptilians all over in the royal family for a very long time. Yeah, but what happened to him eventually? He got taken off of YouTube. He got suppressed and all of this stuff. We talk about this stuff all the time. Channel suppress. Other people talk about it. Channel suppress. Candace Owens, not so much. You have to see, you have to understand where you plug into this matrix, because it's a lot bigger than what we thought that it ever truly was. See, they need someone to play tennis with. They need to keep their ball on the court. That's what I'm getting. As long as their ball is on the court, it doesn't matter if they lost the first 5 matches. If their ball is on that court, meaning in energy, in action, then they are still here and able to live, is what I'm saying. Oops, Source is about to give us a crash course on how to womp these entities. Ash. I feel it coming on. I do. This is all channeled now. I'm a conscious channeler here. Like the video and subscribe. Listen. Candace, whether you know it or not, no, I think the series is going to be beautiful. I do. I may contribute to it on my own end, and you can keep watching this channel, right? But what I'm saying is sometimes we don't know that we are part of their game. I truly believe that it's either one or two things. Candace Owens is in on it, or they are using her. They're using, what we love so much about Candace Owens almost against, it seems like it's against themselves. No, but it's against the agenda of the light. And let me explain. If a game is going on, because this is a game, it's a matrix game, and the ball is the moving energy. And as long as the ball stays in motion, then they are in the game, right? But if no one competes or question, if we just withdraw from their system and just go over somewhere else and do our own thing, then we have now split off. We've created not just a tear, but we have created another timeline for ourselves, and their matrix game falls because there's not the dualistic energy, and we need duality to be here. There would only be them standing in the evil frequency. And remember, They were not birth of source. They weren't birthed out of the balance of the masculine and feminine energy. And we can say it's because of Sophia when she created Yaldabaoth, and she did not use her male counterpart to do so. We could say that this is how this line, this lineage of evil line with Yaldabaoth, Moloch, and all of these other gods and Satanists and all of that, we could say that's how they became fragmented, just simply because they do not have the balance of the cosmos, right? But the whole thing is, if we just let them have the game, we win. We win. Because they need our light. They need the kinetic energy from our light to power the game. See, you think you're playing a game with someone and they're just running game on you. Check that. You think you're playing a game on someone and they're just running game on you. They can't move that ball back and forth with just one polarity. No, they cannot. We were birthed out of both polarities, out of the balance, the summation of it all. They only have the Satan gene, or the lineage of evil DNA within them. So light workers come in, and we give them light, we give them energy, and that's why they have all this fictitious stuff for you to partake in. You know, oh, let's go and vote. Democrat and Republican, it's the same people. They're all the same bloodline. I think we made that clear, right? Same bloodline. And all of these things. Notice how it's only two choices. And then lately, you know, humanity has wised up. So they start to give you a third choice, like an independent, which doesn't make sense because it's just like a buffer between who will really win. So now you're just back to the two people at the end of the day, because the house always wins, right? That's what's going on. So Candace, baby, and I know you smart, right? But baby, there's somebody playing high level spiritual chess with you. So it's either you're in on it, which I don't think so, or I ain't gonna say that because I don't know, or they're using you for a high level spiritual game of chess just to power their energy and keep them on the board. And this is what I'm getting in this moment, the latter. This is what it is. They need to keep themselves on the board. They know their timeline is over. It's a dead timeline. We know it. That's why it's all been revealed. That's why we're getting disclosure. That's why we will keep receiving disclosure after disclosure after disclosure. I am telling you. But guess what? Their ball will still be on the court. Even if you don't believe, you know those people ain't no Israelites over there. We know that. And I don't even need to say the obvious. I think we all know that, right? And then if you look at some of the people, character, they're like persecuting Christians over there in Israel. If you look at their character, it's like, really, girl? Are you truly who you say that you are? Because you're looking more like a demon today, you know? But I'm just saying, if you withdraw from their system, the whole thing collapsed, because you are the one powering it, because you are the only one that has the dualistic energy to actually fuel it. So the more you play with them, their ball gets to stay on the court. And even if we all know the truth, their ball is still in motion because we are still engaged with these people. And this is the hardest bit about it. And I know they're using her, and they're using all of us to the point, because you got to feed the machine. Remember I said Candace Owens had to feed the algorithm. We all got to feed the algorithm, which is a demon. This algorithm is a demon. It's a literal name of a demon. You got to feed it. So you got to put the right keywords in. You got to say the right things. You got to put that right title. You can't be talking about stuff they don't want you to, right? That's what I'm saying. But mind you, it is revealing them, because what we're doing is we're giving them a place on the court for the audience. But have you ever thought in your head that they want the audience, that they welcome the audience? That's what's happening. When I was in Hollywood, 4 years ago. I don't know what that is. You can tell I never smoked before. Am I doing it right? Is that how you do it? Anywho, when I was in Hollywood 7 years ago, we used to have this little thing called the audience fillers, right? So let's say you want to do the American Music Awards, the MTV Awards, the BET Awards, and whatever kind of awards or just TV shows. Let's say they did not sell enough tickets for the people to actually go, or there's not enough celebrities that attend because they're in their, I don't know, their summer house. I don't know. Probably, now we probably know what they was doing. But let's just say they're not there. When the camera pans to the audience, they don't want to break the fourth wall. Well, what is the fourth wall, you may ask? The fourth wall is when the actor looks in the camera and almost goes off script, almost breaks the the 3D that you have been experiencing it, kind of watching it on a 3D level. But when they stop, and you know why I love what's that show that used to come on? It was like a teenage drama back in the 90s. So Alive or something. My So-Called Life. So Alive, girl. My So-Called Life, baby. That was my show. It was Claire Danes. Is that her name? I don't know, guys, but baby, we got to bring that back. But she would do that so beautifully, break the fourth wall so beautifully. I may add, I'm getting somewhere. It's been a slow news day, guys. No, I'm joking. But anywho, so she would break the fourth wall. And this is when you got to see a little insight of like kind of what she was going through outside of just the lines. But you got to see that, oh, this is just a TV show that I'm watching, right? So I say that to say with Candace Owens, she's keeping the ball in motion, right? And somebody rewind this because I was making a point with the breaking the fourth wall, but let me get back to the story about being the seat filler, right? So anyways, this is what I'm saying, the seat filler. So sometimes I would go and fill in the seats, right? Because I'm trying to break into Hollywood. I'm trying to be a producer, by the way, which I was a Hollywood producer, but you guys know my story. So you would go and you would sit at the award show or whatever TV show they were filming, and you would sit there and clap, because guess what? When the camera panned, they would see a full audience, and none of the viewers at home would know that there was a lot of empty seats. What would happen if the viewers at home knew that there was a lot of empty seats? It would lose its prestige. Like, how come no one's showing up for the MTV Awards this year? How come no one's showing up to this TV show? It must not be good. I'm going to turn the channel off. There's no one here. It would take the like how we fantasized about Hollywood. It would take all of that away, and it would humble it and kind of bring it back down to your level where you would just say, it's not really anything big because after all, ain't nobody even there. This is what these people have been doing to us. They need us invested in their game. So Candace Owens serves that purpose. She keeps that ball on the court. She keeps the tennis match going back and forth. She keeps feeding that algorithm. As she feeds that algorithm, it's getting fed. And it's beasting, right? Her numbers going up. That thing is getting fed. It's getting well fed. But more importantly, what the elites like is that they are in the game because they were able to not only use Candace Owens' energy, but everyone who is invested in it and everyone who, is subscribed, to Candace Owens, they're able to use the energy to stay on the court. They know they've already lost because they already knew it was the end of the age and that the power dynamic would shift. They already knew that. So they're trying to last as long as they can in the dying game before we just turn this sucker off and say, cut. When the director yells, cut, I'll be fine. And just say, cut. Because we are the energy. We're the only energy that can power them. They can't even power themselves. If you turned their stuff off, they would die. That's just truly what would happen. So I'm just saying, The series is going to be, I'm sure it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing because it's going to be produced. It's going to be amazing. But it's not going to help us clean this place up. It's just spreading. It's just keeping them in the game. And that's what they want at this point. If they can last another 20 years, on the throne or however, they're trying to figure out a way to hang in enough to body hop and swap destinies with us, with humanity, right? That's what they're trying to do. And in some regards, Candace Owens serves that purpose, right? And not just Candace, a lot of different people serve that purpose, and they're just able to stay with their pieces on the board. Even though it's a lie, even though they're losing, but guess what? They still there. That's the whole point, right? And I love talking about this stuff from a higher sphere. I'll get in the comments in a minute. Put some questions down in the comments because we're just going to talk. But, guys, there's really nothing to say. You don't have to do a million automatic writings when now, this has all taught us to be conscious. This whole thing was just teaching us to turn our awareness on. Once you have your awareness turned on, you're psychic. Everybody, the whole world is psychic, right? And I can't wait for the course that's coming up. On March 14th, we are starting, guys, our quantum telepathic healing and psychic development course. If you want to be a part of this, you want to get the God power, you want to learn about 20 different quantum healing modalities, just there is a free consultation link down below, or you can email me for the official flyer and details, instructions for humanity at gmail.com. Guys, you have no idea that we're about to be all synced up, all wearing the same color, all telepathic, all like dreams. It's about to get trippy, right? It's about to get supernatural, right? Because we are the ones powering the system. The only difference is you don't know it. You don't know that you're their food source. You don't know that you are their source because you come from source. The moment we know that, and then we just turn around, turn their game off, just click off, and then we just cultivate a new energy field. It's all about energy fields. That's all we're doing here. Turning their field off and creating our own energy field. That's it. But here's the trick. You guys won't even watch these videos. If you don't put a flashy title in there, you won't watch it. So how do you think someone's going to turn this off if the general public or the general humanity, we have not risen to a certain frequency yet where we can watch videos that don't have anything to do with gossip or Hollywood stuff. In some way, we're still enamored by this Hollywood stuff. And guys, I will tell you this, because I've been around pretty much every celebrity. I worked with Steven Spielberg before. I mean, these people ain't nothing to write home about. I would not switch places with them, baby. If you paid me to, I would say, no, I'm good. I wouldn't do it. Because having autonomy over yourself, having peace of mind, having your sovereignty, not answering to all these different people and handlers. And I would be like Lauryn Hill. I just couldn't. I already know. I wouldn't do it. I didn't do it. That's why I quit. I ain't doing this. No. Nope. Not doing it. So that's what I'm saying. So we're gonna get more into that. But now let me tell you guys this. Okay. Put some questions in the chat for me. I'll be in the chat in a minute. So we'll get more into that. Now, let me just talk to you guys about, we'll continue talking about yesterday. I know I announced that my father passed away. It was like early Sunday morning, like wee hours in the morning. And, so I got to tell you guys something, because I can't even be sad now, because he won't allow me to. let me tell you what happened. So my sister, and she's like one of my sisters, she's like the comedian of the family. So she would like make jokes that my dad would always say this to her. I'm gonna be a dead duck, you know? And he would say like if something was going wrong or he couldn't figure something out, oh, I'm gonna be a dead duck. Or my sister, he'd tell my sister, you better go to work or you're gonna get fired. You're gonna be a dead duck. Like I don't know why he always said that, but you're gonna be a dead duck. And we were just laughing. We're just laughing. And how my sister explains it, she's like funny, she's animated with it. So do you know, like when today me and two of my sisters, so we get ready to go, and my auntie, we get ready to go to like make the funeral arrangements and all that. So we pull out of the driveway, and literally at the end of the driveway, just maybe like, I don't know, like maybe 8 feet from the driveway, I'm not even sure if it was up to that. Guess what we see? A dead duck. Because in the back of the house there's like a lake, right? And there's a bunch of ducks, right? Families of ducks. But I never see one singular duck ever. So it was a big duck. And here's the crazy part. So my mom, who passed away like 9 years ago, she has all these ducks. They used to have all these ducks. My mom loved ducks. My sister was mentioning that this morning. She was like, I never realized how much ducks mom had. Like, she had a lot of ducks, like a lot of statues of ducks and duck this and duck that. She was just mentioning that. Then my sister, the night before, was making the joke of how my dad was like, a dead duck. You're going to be a dead duck. Then we pull out the driveway this morning, and it's a dead duck. You can't even be mad at this point, because it's like, obviously, it's like, we're not new to this on this channel. This is not a coincidence. Like, this never happens. I've never seen a dead duck here. Like, in all of my years, like, just never has happened, right? So obviously that's my dad communicating, his spirit, right? Communicating and letting us know that everything's going to be okay and that I can see you, right? So this, so I got interested in like, ooh, like let me expand this and just see how deep this truly does run. So that wasn't the only synchronicity. Then the other synchronicity was like, we were like leaving one funeral place to the next. We see a person driving in a license plate in front of us, and it says Bye, B-Y-E, and then it has my mother's birth date, which was like 7/49. So it said Bye 7/49, which is my mom's birth date. And we were just, I truly believe my mom came to get him. Well, because I kind of saw it, and like my dad was saying it like weeks before, like he was going to go and be with my mom. Like he just kept saying it, but he didn't realize he was saying it. Like, and then the license plate said Bye, and it had my mom's birth date on it. And we were like, we can't even, anytime I want to cry, obviously, I want to release, but it's like, it's just like, no, stop. Like, it was a conscious choice. It was like a conscious choice. Like, obviously, it's so clear and obvious that this was a choice. Just like I've made choices to move and go to a different state or country, made a choice to be free from the matrix, in physicality, to be free in physicality. So, it felt like a soul's choice. And that was such a beautiful confirmation, because it's like, that's why I'm like in good spirits. Like I can't even be sad, because I know they're good. I know they're together. And like my parents were like this. And usually what happens, like when one spouse dies, the other one doesn't last very long. I'm really surprised my dad lasted this long, because they never were. My dad retired early, and he would, we had a family business my mom had. He would drive my mom to work, sit there wait for her to work all day and drive her back in his retirement. And it was like a 12-hour shift. He would do it every day for like 15 years. If it could have been longer. That's how they never left each other. There was no like them vacationing separate. There was none of that. There was not, that was unheard of. When you saw one, you saw the other. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that synchronicity. Then something else happened crazy. Listen, so my brother, right? He has a best friend he grew up with ever since grade school. You know, I think 8 years old or something, 8 or 9. And when my mom passed away in 2017, his mom passed away like a few weeks later. My father just passed away yesterday. This same friend of my brother's dad passes away today. My spidey senses went up. My best friend, her dad was also just almost passed away. He just got out of the hospital. Then when he got out of the hospital, he had another incident fall, had to be back in the hospital. Like, I started thinking, because remember what I said, I was getting very clearly, we got to get to our post. And during that time when my mom passed, it was a lot of divine feminines leaving around that time. It was right before COVID. And there was a lot of what we call in our community, the big mamas, right? If you know, a big mama is like the one that holds the family together. It'd be like the grandma, right? Usually the old school grandma, not these new school grandmas that's still out in the club dropping it like it's hot. You know, the old school grandmas that be knitting at home and got the pig's feet on, you know, and the chitlins. No, I'm joking. But, you know, that kind of grandma, right? They gave you like solid old school advice, but they still would womp that butt if they needed to. Like that kind of, we call them big mama, right? Yeah, so there was a lot of big mamas leaving at that time. And it was funny because I believe there was we were preparing for the rise of the divine feminine. This is where a lot of people start speaking about the great mother, right? Which I even channeled in the Great Expansion about Mother God of the living waters, right? This is the great mother. This is, you know, the part of source that is responsible for birthing all of the beautiful beings, you know, that we have out here in the universe, right? And then now we have a lot of fathers leaving, like really strong divine masculines. I even said in this book, what we're seeing is a shift where the masculine now, it's like the masculine as a collective has served its side of the coin. Now the coin tips over. Now it's rise to the divine feminine because it's a death, right, of the masculine, but then it becomes a rebirth. There needs to sprout something new now. So think about it. If we are sprouting something new in this season, right, then the feminines that left, right, were getting ready. They were getting on their post because they were about to resprout the energy. And now the masculines, right, that now becomes a kind of a little bit of a dormant energy to become the roots so that the divine feminine can sprout. This is what I truly believe is happening. And, you know, the cycles of those deaths kind of helped me to see it, you know, because, and trust me, I'm still mourning. I'm crying a minute ago. That will happen. But while we're truly here, guys, we have to understand that we are keeping the game going. We're in a game that was created well before we got up in here. And the reason why I mention all of this, look at those synchronicities, but I explain to you from a spiritual level of what's happening. Everyone needs to be in position. There's a lot of collective energy coming together. So that collective, you know, birthing energy is about to come back. That's why those souls had to leave to get in position to get on their post. Now there's some really strong masculines, right? The old school strong masculine, the real ones, not the fake ones they have nowadays that are afraid of everything, right? And that energy will be, dormant for a minute, but it's only dormant to be the strong foundation and the roots so that the feminine energy can sprout new life. That is what's happening, guys. So when we zone out from Jeffrey Epstein and all of this stuff happening, this is what's happening on a spiritual plane. Everyone's getting in position because there is the birth and rebirth, the death and rebirth cycle, but also too, there is a spiritual war, and everybody has a spiritual assignment, and we are about to have a religious war. Remember, political and religious. They are cloaking it as political, but it won't be, is what Source is saying. This is what I was getting with the noses, right? We were channeling that the noses being cut off of the Sphinx and in Egypt. It's all about what it was pointing to, not just the race of those people. The true race is, black or indigenous or, whatever you want to call it. But it also points you to, the original people, which those people say that they are. But if you put the noses back on those pharaohs, you will have no choice but to see that there were this kingship, this black nobility that ruled, and Egypt is not 5,000, 6,000 years old. They changed that to line up with the Bible. We're looking at 60,000 years old at least. We're looking at something like that, if not more. That's what we're looking at, because they keep changing time so that you don't know what time it is. But do you think that an ancient, Egypt is only 5,000, 6,000 years ago? Really? But people don't think. But it's all about lining it up with religion. But what are we doing now? We are deconstructing religion. So naturally, that's what I was getting about the nose. We're going to see, people will know. Those noses, it may not come back in physicality, but people will know the truth about that. They will know the truth about the original people. They will know the truth about that specific original land. It's debunking the false Jew template and timeline. But we got Candace Owens over here still in the ring with these people, playing ball, keeping the lie alive, is what I'm saying. So even though she doesn't know she's doing it because she's getting something, but they will distract you with the accolades. This is how Hollywood works. They will distract you with the accolades and even allow you to make money on the perimeter of their system where it looks like you are an outcast, but truly they are using that energy to keep themselves powered in the game. And that is why Candace Owens is a pawn in their game, whether she knows it or not. But when we zone out, what we're looking at, if we just stop playing these games, but it's going to happen. We will see this. We will see this. In this, it won't be a political war. It looks like it, but it will not be. And I've been channeling Iran for like a year and a half now. It won't be. It is a religious war, because who keeps religion gets control of the narrative, gets control of the money. We are fighting a religious war. It's not political. It is religious. Someone wants control over the main religion, because religion is just a place for them to hide their dirty deeds, to hide their demonic acts, to hide, everything that these people have been doing for eons. That's a very powerful vehicle, because it gets right to your heart. And what's dangerous is that's the secret place of the Most High. So they can get in. through religion. They can get to your heart. They can get to the Most High through you. So when I tell you that Candace Owens is keeping the energy going, she's keeping them in the game. Religion is giving these demons access to the heart space, the secret place of the Most High, because that is what they are after. It's given. Is it God protecting you, or are we protecting God? It's both. They lied to you. It's a two-way relationship. It's not a one-way thing. We also have to protect God. We got to protect the codes. But people have been taught to just say, gimme, 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 and not have gratitude, 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 and thanksgiving. When you live out of gratitude, 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 and thanksgiving, you naturally protect that in which you are grateful for. This is how we protect God, Source, Yeshua. But the way we're going, we just let everybody in to the secret place of the Most High. Because if you lose your heart posture, you lose everything. So you don't let anyone there, and you always have to not just protect it for yourself, but you are protecting God. You're protecting the codes, is what I'm saying. So I think that's very important to say. So now let's zone out. Look at this matrix, you know. Got all the synchronicities, my dad, and we got the dead duck, you know, and then we got the, you know, the license plate, you know, with my mom saying bye on there. And then we got my brother's friend's dad passing at the same time my dad did, and then his mother passing at the same time my mother did. I was like, oh, I know what's going on here. See, guys, this is a coded universe. We are like, oh my God, look at the synchronicities. No, it's not a synchronicity. It's just coded. That's how they coded it. Oh, that these people would live in the same place, and they would live like less, what, a quarter of a mile away from each other. Is given. Were you only alive because my parents were living? Because the moment they left, y'all seem to have went too. And that's what it looks like, where people are like, oh no, this is spell work, spell work. That's what it will look like. But when we zone out, it's on a grid. These are number sequences. They must have tied them to the same. They probably saw some souls coming in. They put them, oh, they're going to live in the same place. And they just coded that stuff. So when one person passed away, then the other one did. Because they were like in a similar like grid. Like if you see like a matrix and it has all of these like squares, they were in the dimensions of their squares were very similar. That's what I'm saying. This is like what we have to understand. So even though you're not even living, you know, you're not living in the same house, you might not even see this person a couple of times a year. It doesn't matter. It's already been coded. And that's why I'm telling you, okay, this is what Source is saying. They do that for a reason. And you know what breaks you out of that square? And you can untether yourself from the grid. Because it's coded, and there might be 100,000, millions of people that are coded that same way. You know? What breaks you out of that is when you turn on your, there's a chakra. It's a chakra, but what it is your authenticity. When you turn that on, because, you know, that's demonized. Especially if you live in, you know, a small town, or especially back in the day, you wanted to keep that at bay. You didn't want people to, you didn't want to let your freak flag shine. You wanted people to know that you're weird. You kept that in. That's what kept people, you know, on the same grid line. So that is what I got to see. I'm like, oh, no. Some people will say, what happened at spell work? Everybody's leaving. Well, we know everyone's getting ready for their post. It's a huge energy shift. It's a masculine energy and a feminine. They're switching places. Now the feminine is going to be more expressive and the masculine is going to be the neck now. Message. The masculine is going to be the roots now, the foundation now, the neck. And now the woman, the feminine energy, because it's a birthing season, right, will be the one out in the forefront. It's just switching places. That's it, because that's how duality works. And to free yourself from the grid, grid line is what Source is saying. You got to activate your uniqueness. That's what separates you. And most people won't do it because they are afraid to be different, afraid to stand out. They want to be just like Joe Smo, but that won't get you there. You're going to be attached to the grid line. And then you're going to be grid locked into that other person's timeline. You're going to be like, this is witchcraft and spell work. But no, it's not. You're just not being authentic and unique. You want to separate? Go and do something completely different. Change up your daily routine. Change it up. Go and travel something different. Go and see somewhere else. Go and start dressing different. Turn your uniqueness on, and you can untether yourself from the generic, grid line. That's what I learned through this. It's a grid line sequence. Grid line sequence is what Source is saying. So you know how those binary numbers are like ones and zeros? It's kind of like that. And I'm almost giving somebody did a sloppy job. They just put that in there to hold space. You know how you're building out something and you're like, I'll come back and expand this part later. Let me just put some information in now so I can get a good picture on what everything looks like. But then they see that it works. And so they don't go back for those little details. That is what it's given. But see, because you are soul and spirit, you have something that will naturally get you from the gridlock or take you away from that grid line. Is your uniqueness, your ability to shine as the star that you are, your ability to turn your heart lamp on. That is what's going to separate you and get you soul tethered, unsoul tethered from stuff like that, is what I'm saying. But now this thing gets a lot larger. That's why I keep saying you have never met true Father God, because Father God don't do no sloppy work like that. I wouldn't even be able to figure that out, or any of the other people online. The all-intelligent one of the universe would never be that sloppy where a human being could figure it out. No, that's how you know you haven't been getting the true God. Because that's a sloppy job. It is. So now what I really think is going on is spending my time in Hollywood. That's why I mentioned it. Come on, T. That's why I mentioned it. Listen, this is what I'm saying. Spending time in Hollywood, where everything, I'm telling you, so we'll go through the whole script, right? And we want to queue up for all of the shots and the camera shots, right? And I tell you guys before, if you are a director, you make your shot list, right? And your first assistant AD, your assistant director, will have your shot list and make sure that they can blurt out to the camera your first position, close up, wide angle, whatever, crane, pan in to medium close up, and all of that. And then there's markers. We put tape. It's called gaffer's tape. We put that on the set so that I was going to say the actors, but girl, I was about to say agents. So the agents, and that's exactly what they are, so they can take their mark, right? You guys don't see that. But if you were to zone out and look at a movie set and a TV set, there's just a bunch of can lights hanging from everywhere and backlights, right? And then somebody eating craft services off to the side watching you run your lines, and then a bunch of tape, which are X's. We would put X's in gaffer tape on the ground so you can your spot. What do you think is happening? It's not just Hollywood. This whole shabam is Hollywood. You're in a Hollywood stage play. That's why they say the world is a stage, but I don't think we understand that it truly is. And we're standing when they build a school. Listen, this is about to get freaky. When they build a school for you to go to, they say you got to go to elementary school, then high school, and then they build these colleges. That's so you can pop in to keep the game going. But they make it a law. Do you think they care that you have an education or not? They certainly don't have jobs for you. So why do they care about you getting an education? Education. They just need somewhere for you to go and run your lines, to keep the ball on the court, to keep them in the game. And then they have their agent teachers in there and all of that. And then you go to college, it's just another place for you to run your lines. And then you have the grocery store, the corner shop, the bodega, the coffee shop, the hair shop where you do the gossip, like, before, social media. It's just a place for you to run your lines because it's already been coded with the binary codes, and it's a generic code. I don't care what nobody say. You haven't even seen the true source God. You wouldn't even be able to even get to the codes and figure this stuff out if it was truly coming from source divine, creator of all the universes and all of the worlds. And do you think we'd be able to figure that out? No, you would not. So you've not met source yet. This is what I'm saying, what I'm understanding. It's all just a generic code, and the only way you break out is with authenticity. That's you break away, right? And maybe you might still have some similarities, but you're not going down with the ship because you came in powered by someone else's life force, and the understudy is given. It's given understudy. That's what it's given. I'm serious, and I'm making a joke of this because I'm trying to do it in a playful way, girl, because y'all like Hollywood up in this matrix. What if my brother's friends, because they want the mother passed away after my mom passed away, and the dad passed away after my dad passed away. What if they were my parents' understudy? Just like it would be in a stage play. What if they were their understudy? And then when my parents left, and we're like, well, the production's over. Your code is, it's over. Got to take you to. That's what it's given, y'all. That's what it's given. It's given understudy vibes. And you won't know. You won't know that you're an understudy. But you'll know if you're awakened in consciousness, perched in consciousness. You'll know if you're understudy. If you're a follower, you're understudy. You are an understudy. This brings a whole new name to NPC. You're understudy. If you are a follower, you're understudy. You don't even have original lines, girl. That's what I'm saying. When you're understudy, girl, that's what is given instead of NPC. It's given understudy. When you're an understudy, you can't see the Epstein files. You don't get it. You could even hear them say eating children. It won't register because the spark did not originate with you. You're the understudy. You're just there to support the grid. So, the grid line. To support the structure. That's what I'm seeing. And where I'm telling you, I did a hypnosis session a few years ago, and I'm telling you, there was the all-seeing eye that sits on the 8th dimension. That's in the hypnosis playlist. You can watch that. This thing is recording, and what they're saying, we can look at this as like the Akashic records. But listen, that's why I keep telling people, I haven't spoke about this in a while, but we're getting a new Akashic records. Because this one kind of, to be honest with you, it's still matrix level. It's still matrix level. So we're working on a new, the people in the expanded consciousness are working on a new style Akashic records. But this one is all being recorded from the 8th dimension. It's even above the 7 heavens, right? So you think that it's God, but it's still Yaldabaoth, right? Because that's such a let me tell you this. The Christ sits at the 13th dimension, which is just the healing centers. It's a place you just go for healing. It's just filled with light frequencies and love. It is a healing zone. Source is infinite. Source is all around and in between, because what is source? Who is source? Source is the empty spaces in between every living thing. You can't if you try to unravel that to find source, you unravel everything. Do you see how it's impossible to weed source out, even though they try? So that's what I'm saying. That is what's happening on Earth. And we're all a part of it. And we're just popping into our X on the stage. Because like I said, we used to mark it with an X, the gaffer tape, where the actor needs to stand. So when you see that school, that coffee shop, that whatever, I don't care what you're doing. That's just the gaffer tape that whoever is doing this has already marked the spot for you to go to. And then they make a law, and then you go there. And then you fuel their system, and then you wonder, you keep saying why you can't get out. Stop going to all their stuff and being on their stage and saying all their lines. Activate your authentic code and go off script. You're like, I don't know why I can't get out of here. Would you like some delicious water? I have no idea why I can't get out of here. Go ahead and purchase my book. It's The Great Expansion, a Cosmic Bible for the Ages, available on Amazon. No, seriously, purchase that. But no, seriously, you wonder why you can't get out. I'm feeling light and airy today, guys. You wonder why you can't get out. You're saying all their lines. You're showing up to all of the places that they have the gaffer tape for you to stand. And then they give you all the books already. They're all pre-selected. You don't get to create anything. It's already there. No creativity here. And then you go to the job that they told you to go to school for, and they pay you $5.50. So you can come back and do it all over again, because they need you in position to keep their game going on. Candace. I'm joking with you. Now I'm just having fun with the message now. But that's what this is. I just want us to understand. And you know what I said? I said, you know what? We got to talk to the people who built this matrix, because, after what I experienced, it's never fun losing a parent. After what I experienced, I said, you know what? More people would want to come and play this matrix game. If you got rid of that horrible deaf thing, why not just have the person just say, cut! It's all a stage play. I got you. I was playing that role real good. You thought I was mean. You thought I was this. Why not just do that? Why make people go through misery and pain and losing someone and heartache? Oh, you get a lot more people down here wanting to play the Matrix game if you got rid of the horrible death thing. Like, let's not do that. If we ever create another Matrix, if we ever partake in another Matrix, we're not agreeing to partake in that, because that part is just cruel, and I don't even think it's necessary to learn any lessons. I truly don't. I'm just saying, we're going to have to talk to the person who constructs all this stuff, because, it's falling apart at the seams. At this point, we can kind of see the playbook. So we're going to have to make some corrections the next time we do this. How about that? Sorry, guys. I'm being silly, but that's truly what I want to say. So I just wish that we can just turn off the TV. I will be able to do that soon. If, as source, as God continues to bless me, I will be able to decouple from this stuff, and I could turn it off and just be in an energy field and decouple from it like that. And when more people do that, they just won't live. They just will shrivel up, because they have no more fuel. You're not fueling it anymore. You're not fueling it, and therefore they can't stay. Demon, you can't stay, demon. You just can't stay. And that's how you get rid of All of the festering entities in the matrix, guys, you just turn them off. You just turn your authentic gene on. You just activate to vibrate. That's it. And you know that this is all being recorded and it's a stage play. And even the deaths are all binary lines from the binary codes. And someone was too lazy to go back and either fix it or they did that on purpose just to build a lot of energy to hold the system together. That's what I'm getting. And you can free yourself by turning on your authentic gene. That's it. That's it, y'all. Natalie says, or they also prepare the audience before the show starts, having their screen at front telling you when to stand, sound, and clap. Yeah, they did all of that. Oh, we got to clap. You will see a huge thing come. Oh, you got to clap. You got to stand. You got to cheer and all of that. Oh, my goodness. I'm like, baby. All the fakeness in Hollywood, like, how long do I have to do this for, you know? So that's what's happening on a grander scale. So I just wanted to include part of my experience in with this because I got to see it from a different angle. I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing. It's like there's like understudies. There's just like people that are attached to you think a lot of people think it's witchcraft and it's not. You had an understudy following you. You think, oh, this person, she's just so jealous of me. She's always buying everything I buy. No, she's just your understudy. She's doing everything I do. That's your understudy. This matrix is messy. I'm telling you. Natalie says, such beautiful parents you have now reunited. Yes, in their radiant spiritual bodies. Yes, they are. Surely the Holy Spirit's love flows through you during this time of mourning. Tahira, Yeshua HaMashiach, mighty's name. Yes, amen. Thank you. Thank you, Natalie. Yes, I've gotten a burst of great energy today. And just seeing that dead duck, I'm sorry. Just know that there were no true ducks hindered in this Matrix game. There was no true ducks truly injured. You know, it's all an illusion. This is just a way to, you know, for my dad to show me that he's fine and that my mom, they're together and they're good. We're good. We will heal. We will keep going up the mountain because a winner don't quit on themselves. And my parents were definitely winners. They wanted everything. They were always climbing up that mountain, always going to new heights, always bettering themselves, just always loving, always taking in people, helping them, doing charity. Like, that's what it's about. That's what this next stage of life is about. It's about now going and living this. I learned it. I taught it, right? Now is to go out and just become one within the elements within this work. And it's going to be beautiful. And in some regards, I know I couldn't even do this until this happened. But I think that was kind of just a fun way to kind of tell you guys a little bit about how this stuff is coded. That's why, you know, Yeshua Jesus says, don't have too much care for this. Don't put too much weight on this. You can't. Don't put too much weight on this life. Like, everything's going to always work out. Always. Even if you're a little afraid to do something, it'll always work out. Don't even worry about it. You got to have that faith, right? Is like cultivating the energy field. It's what you're using to build the structure, right? It's what you're using to hop in and to that new highest timeline. That's what the faith is. It's truly a quantum leap into what it is that you say that you want. That's how you do it, like on a metaphysical level. So Yes, I am looking into the comments here. Thank you guys. Keisha says Candace and her husband own their channel on YouTube. Oh, her husband too. Shucky shucky. Quack quack. Now the plot thickens. Thickens. Higgins. Who's Higgins? I don't know. Wait, guys. Okay, I'm not about to get into a rabbit hole, but clearly I was about to start channeling something here. I was about to start channeling. Yeah. Oh, baby. Hold on. General Dwight Eisenhower. General Dwight Eisenhower is quoted saying Andrew Higgins is the man who won the war for us. Oh, we're about to go into maritime law. We ain't doing all that today because he was a boat builder. Girl, we might be going into Noah. Do you see how I just caught that source code? Most people would have been like, I was saying something, but then it felt like I wanted to say Higgins, although I never pronounced the word. These are the source codes. This is like deeper than being psychic. This is where your psionics, this is the spirit science. That's where your psionics kicks in. Because even a psychic, they would have just missed that. But this is like, it's a full embodiment, right, of what I call the source codes. So in 1952, an American businessman and boat builder who founded Higgins Industries, the New Orleans-based manufacturer of Higgins boats. During World War II, pay attention to that. Whatever happened then will probably start happening now. Pay attention to that. The company started out as a small boat manufacturer and became one of the biggest industries in the world with upward of 80,000 workers, and the government contract worth nearly $350 million. General Dwight Eisenhower quoted for saying that Andrew Higgins is the man who won the war for us. If Higgins had not designed and built those LCVPs, we never could have landed over an open beach. The whole strategy of the war would have been different. Adolf Hitler recognized Higgins' war efforts in ship production and bitterly dubbed him the new Noah. You can't make it up. You can't make this up. What did I just say? I felt the source code, and then I said, I think we're going into maritime law or another Noah situation in the World War II. See, this is all about to repeat because it's a grid line. It's given understudy. It's given duplication. It's given QN. The war, which is not political, is religious. It's given everyone on their post because there's about to be a flood. Can I get an amen? Yes, Lord. If you know, you know. That's what is given. So we get Hitler mentioned in this random. I just did a random Google search. I'm like, who is the famous Higgins? Then Andrew came up. And this is where your ancestors and source helps you. I don't have to shift through everything. No, source is there. My guides are there. I know, they know what I'm looking for. It's the first thing. One thing about Eisenhower, I believe he was in presidency in 1969. 1969 is a very auspicious timeline. That's the timeline that they are using right now. That's the timeline when they said they went to the moon and they didn't, or they said they lost the technology. That timeline is a very demonic, not just esoteric, but it gave birth to, not that it gave birth to these like, Scottish Rite and Illuminati. Those things were already, from the 1800s, if not 17 and beyond. But that timeline really made it where they became on the world stage, like doing this stuff, like outwardly, where like we can pick up like, hey, the synchronicities of it, because they needed time on stage, because they needed to see them, because they've been losing. This is what I'm getting. They've been losing power and energy for a very long time. That 1969 timeline, like when they started to do all these things and like film it and all of that, and then the years of the flower child and all the protests, no, that's what they wanted. They've been dying off for a minute. They need that. So when the Black Lives Matter came and everyone, was rioting and everything, they wanted that. They want that stuff because they are losing power. If we simply, I'm telling you guys, if we just turn off and just hold the light together, like we've been doing in the cosmic ministry, we are shifting stuff. We are the ones that shifted Bao. I truly believe that. Here on this channel, and all of the beautiful light workers that came in for sessions, and we were removing Moloch and Bao, we are the ones who have been shifting this. We have been causing this because the light is showing up for work. It's answering the call. The chosen ones are showing up. We're at our post. We're where we're supposed to be. And these false soul contracts are being rescinded in this season. Because I'm telling you, this war that's coming up, good versus evil, if we win it, there will be no such thing as an entity attachment anymore. It wasn't supposed to be the first time when the Christ came as the surrogate father. That's what it really happened. That's what the Christ told me in a channel. He came as a surrogate father, but Satan is the father of this humanity. And we know that because they're still doing the same thing. As in the days of Noah, so will it be today. As in ancient Mesopotamia, so it is today. They're still doing the same thing because they're on a matrix grid, which gives birth to a matrix timeline. And then they will build up your authentic code, and they know that. But the code, the binary codes are generic. They are generic. So they will build off of an ancient soul. They will build and give you ripples. But the ripples, right, won't be your own kinetic energy rippling, right? Within space-time, the ripple now becomes the doo-wop bops behind you. The ones that monkey see, monkey do. Oh, I see that. I'm doing that. No. That's just to keep you down, and we got a bunch of followers. What are they doing? Stuck to your energy. So when we stand in authenticity, that decouples that whole thing. And then now you're light. There isn't any attachments. Like, this is what I'm saying. You guys, we're about to be so good, but we cannot be if we don't turn this mess off. Stop giving them a stage. Just click her off. Who cares about Bao and Erica Kirk and all of these people? Because at the end of the day, they're not even real. They don't even have a soul. They can't go anywhere. That's my solution to this. But it's interesting that I'm getting this. So we will pick back up this because the source codes are coming back. And I love when I get a source code or two, because I start to research and I have a lot of stuff to bring to you guys. But we are about to experience a war. This is what the channel is. So mark this down. We're about to have a war. And whatever was happening in World War II, we might experience something like that. So as in the days of Noah, something will happen with water. Something will happen with shipping, with either containers, with even shipping containers, or just ships. going to a land that does a lot of import export with shrimp shrimping containers. It could be a place with shrimp that exports shrimp. Is it China? It's given. It feels like Asian country. What's the other country? Is it Taiwan? I don't know, but this is what I'm getting this moment. There was something will happen on water, and something will happen between, there will be wars, even rumors of wars, like it always says, but there will be something pop off between trade. And this may have something to do with the rejection of Donald Trump's trade plan or whatever, but it feels like there's a physical something that is about to take place where there's two opposing sides, and it's a fight at a port, over a port. And I don't know, I am getting shrimp. I'm getting something like, it feels Asia. It might not be specifically an Asian country. It could be an Asian country involved in this on a opposite side. Or it could actually be an Asian country. But there's something that was fought over. And we dare to say it could be tariffs, and pricing maybe now will go up on food or certain food products, which it seems like seafood. I'm getting shrimp, So that's interesting. But we got Adolf Hitler, baby. He recognized Higgins' efforts in ship production and dubbed him as the new Noah. We could get a new Noah. But if it's dubbed by Adolf Hitler, what do you think it's going to be? I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking. And then I'm going to leave that there for now. A little bit about the Matrix. Something could also happen in Nebraska, too. It also mentions that. Okay. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, everyone. I love you guys. I see all you beautiful people. Sister Gail and Kim, hi, and Miss Carolyn, and Keely, and Keisha, and Atmos, and Elderberry, and Cohernism, Donna, and what is it? K Cape Princess, and Janice, and everyone that I missed. Tracy, Barbara, Sister Sonia. And thank you guys. There's been so many of you guys who emailed me and sent me beautiful like digital cards and stuff. That was very sweet. Thank you. And you guys really uplift my spirits. That's why that's why I'm here. I'm trying to keep a normal schedule, because that helps, when you're going through stuff like this. So thanks. That's so beautiful. I may put out, we might pop into the Cosmic Ministry if you guys want to hold the light for me. That might be a nice thing to do. Hold the light for me, hold the light for yourself. So I'll see what day I could do that this week. And I think we just can pop in and do that. And I'm telling you, we shift a lot every time we come together. And we will have to start doing this a lot, like building these healing, bubbles around each other, that we're cultivating. And so we always have a place to land, This is what humanity needs. And then we get out of their field by co-creating. Co-creating is the key word. That's just the key word. It's what really standing out. It should always be a co-creation. It should never just be something solo. And that's how their system works. It's just them against us. We don't even realize that they're like filming all this, and they have understudies, and they got lights set up and big projector suns and moons and all of this stuff. And we don't even realize what's happening. But it's a co-creation. So urge you to go and co-create, with someone, and even with source, co-create with source. Do your manifestation, co-create with source. Co-create with your higher self. This is the energy I feel that we can be in, because there's a lot of feminine presence that it's about to re-emerge again. The sprouting of the divine feminine, the divine feminine essence, and now the masculines are the roots. They are supporting this structure, this new beginning is what I truly feel. I feel very good right now, and I just thank you guys so very much for being here on the journey with me. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, everyone. And I do have my February past life regression. It's the quantum telepathic healing past life regression. The link is down below, and take advantage of booking this most healing session before the end of February, because that's when the discount ends. But I love you guys so very much. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is, as we walk together in divine love. Be well, guys.